The human being is a complex of several systems that work in harmony for the good of the whole. We have a respiratory, digestive, nervous, muscular system, and so on. To each organ or system corresponds a beneficial frequency that stimulates it to operate in a coherent, optimal way. Inside of us, there is a tuned orchestra that plays in symphony. When all systems work naturally, the phenomenon of homeostasis is established and the whole being is in harmony. Studies have shown the effect that sound and music have on cells, organs, emotions, imagination, and the psychological state. The auditive apparatus is fully formed until the 5th month, before sight and smelling, and stretches on a spectrum between 20 and 20,000 Hz. So the baby starts to perceive the outside world through hearing. The cerebral activity has also been measured and divided into 5 major areas, each one corresponding to a wavelength and a state of consciousness. Gamma wavelength, the length of 40 Hz, it corresponds to a state of intense concentration. Beta wavelength, between 13 and 39 Hz, the normal state of wakefulness, activity of the 5 senses. Alpha wavelength, between 7 and 13 Hz, the state of relaxation, creativity, light meditation, super learning. And theta wavelength, between 4 and 7 Hz, superficial sleep, deep meditation, creativity, fantasy, and the last, the delta wavelength, below 4 Hz, deep sleep without dreams, restorative, unconscious. These natural states of the brain can be stimulated by the production of sounds. For example, binaural sounds are emitted from 2 different sources, each of them directed to one ear. When the difference between these sounds is adjusted to 10 Hz, for example, 315 to one ear and 325 to the other ear, the brain will emit a vibration at the alpha wavelength, inducing a state of relaxation and creativity. Another important aspect is the intensity of sound sources. This was measured in decibels, and it was found that it directly influences our state of well-being, the neurotransmitters regulating the immune system. For example, a strong sound and sudden accelerates the cardiac pulse and, being perceived as danger, triggers cortisol production. Nature sounds and music act at the psychological level, changing our mood. The songs we listen to make us feel happy, sad, melancholic, positive, hopeful, and so on. The sounds that are part of our everyday life have the following values. Conversation, 60 decibels. Traffic, 85 decibels. Music concert, 100 decibels. Ambulance, 125 decibels. Fireworks, 130 decibels. Intensity exceeding 100 decibels have been proven harmful for our health. The composers knew that the combination between sounds and rhythm generate emotions and feelings. In the theme of destiny from his Symphony No. 5, Beethoven uses a descendant major third organized in the rhythm of triplets, quarters, in forte, loud dynamics, in order to create the feeling of implacable. Other intervals used ascendant chord using hymns generating a state of courage. Ascended minor third, sadness. Major sixth descendant, melancholy. And so on. Music and sounds influence us on a cognitive level. The cerebral cortex contains the so-called tonotopic maps, which, when listening to different frequencies, get activated. Those sounds can favor or not our concentration and activities. Also, the imagination gets stimulated. For example, the shape of a musical phrase, moving from bottom to top or from slow to fast, is represented as movement, running, walking, stopping. Last but not least, music stimulates the behavior. We are naturally inclined towards pleasant sounds. Loud and aggressive sounds create fright and nervousness, while when music calms down, we think more clear and act in a beneficial and coherent way. As Darwin used to state, music seems to be the intermediary part between language and thought. Consequently, the body is a receiver, and music can be used to reduce stress and anxiety, the unconscious psychological effects, and the emotional associations. Also, it lowers cortisol, adrenaline, the heart rate, and the tension. When we are listening to music, or playing an instrument or singing, endorphins get released and beneficial circuits are created that favor the state of coherence and homeostasis when our inner orchestra plays a symphony.